Baruch haba. Tonight's class was sponsored for the Refuah Shlema of Miriam Bat Suri. May Borei Olam send all her medical issues to Sonei Yisrael b'mehera, and she should be happy and healthy at 120. Simcha gdola be'ezrat Hashem. V'chen yeh. There is a Yalkut Shimoni. The Yalkut Shimoni is in Yeshaya. Them is Taf Nun Hey. The Yalkut says on a pasuk in Yeshaya, Perek Mem Gimel, pasuk Yud Bet. The pasuk says like this: Ve'atem edai neum Hashem. God tells the Jewish nation, "You are my witnesses." Ve'ani, and I, God says, El, I'm God. The Yalkut writes something that you gotta, if you hear it, you gotta hear the rest of the class too, because otherwise you go walk away and apikoris. The Yalkut says, Kshatem edai ani El. When Am Yisrael is my witnesses, meaning that they proclaim God's existence, then God says, then I'm God. Ukshe'en atem edai, but when you're not my witness, when you're not doing the right thing, kavyachol eini El, it's as if I'm not God. This sounds like, how do you understand this? This sounds very off. God is God, no matter what, no matter when, no matter where, no matter. So, and God's saying this about himself. When you're my witness, I'm God. When you're not my witness, I'm not God. What does that mean? So we're going to go on a little journey. It's not mine. It comes from a great sefer, and I purposely picked this piece, even though in my mind I was going to talk about something else tonight, because when I saw that it was for Refuah Shlema, so Rav Zera Shimshon, Rav Nachmani, Zechet Tzadik Levachas Chotei Yagen Aleinu, promised that anybody who learns from his sefer, then he's going to work things out upstairs. So I figured for Shiuras, for Refuah Shlema, we got to learn something from the Zera Shimshon, and he'll take care of the problems already from Shamayim, Be'ezrat Hashem. He promised, not the theory and not. And there's hundreds, thousands of stories of people at Big Yeshua. So comes the Rav Zera Shimshon over here and he writes an unbelievable thing. He says, in order to explain this midrash, we got to go on a little journey. In the world, there are powers. Today we see them a lot less, but they still exist in minute ways that seem to be magical powers, we'll call them, or I don't know how you want to title them. In the Torah's terms, they are called menachashim. Menachashim are people that can guess to predict the future. Maybe that's tarot cards today, or something like that. Or reading coffee cups, or all these other corrupt systems that they got. There's kosmim, magic. Today we don't have magic. The magic that we see is just some sort of gimmick that the guy's faster than you and you didn't realize what he did. There's no real magic. But years ago there was a real power of magic. They were actually able to do things that physically are impossible. There was a certain power that was called kosmim. There was a real power of magic that existed in the world. And machshefim, witchcrafters. Witchcrafters also really we don't have much today. There is koach hakishuf today, but in a very minute way. In its real way we don't. The closest thing to witchcrafting that we have is most married men think their mothers-in-law are that. But other than that, I don't know if we have much of that. There was a guy who had a daughter, B'shat Torah. He was making a big kiddush on Shabbat. Now some Jews have a minhag that they call their kid a name based on something from the Torah from that week's parasha. So if your kid is born on Parashat Chayei Sarah, it's very easy. You call your daughter Sarah, a beautiful name, holy name. Certain parashiyot don't have names inside. His daughter's kiddush, then the name calling was going to be Parashat Mishpatim. Parashat Mishpatim doesn't have any female names in it. So they called the rabbi on Friday in a panic and he said, Chacham, what do I do? I got to call a name, there's no name in the parasha. So he tells him maybe in Haftarah. He says, no name in Haftarah. I got no name. What do I do? So the rabbi says, let me check. Let me double check. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Goes through the parasha. And the parasha there's a mitzvah. V'chol machshefa lo techayeh. Every witchcrafter, don't let her live. So he said, call your daughter machshefa. It's a name. Honestly, today with the names people give kids, this is not far off anymore. So he tells the rabbi, "Rabbi, I'm very sorry, but that name I can't use." So he said, "Why not?" He said, "That's my mother-in-law's name already." Kol machshefa lo techayeh. But there was a power. Chazal talk about it a lot. The Gemara wrote about it. There's many places in Chazal that talk about Midrashim, tons, about the power of Kishuf. Yaakov Avinu went on the water. Why? Because Kishuf doesn't apply when you're on top of water. Definitely natural water from a source, meaning not a man-made reservoir. And so on. That's why it's brought down in Sifrei Kabbalah. Chaim Vital also as well brings it down, writes about it, that if a person feels like he's on a little bit of a bad luck streak in life and things aren't working out so well for him, so of course we don't start doing weird mystical things, we don't get grabbed. But he gives a one-eyed advice. He says that he should go on a boat ride in the ocean a little bit. Even for a minute, whatever. He said, because maybe somebody did a kishuf on him or something like that, and when you go on top of the water of the ocean, then it cancels it out. An interesting thing, the Kabbalistic books write. I don't know. But anyway, that's not my agenda. The Pasuk says like this, Pasuk in Bamidbar, Perek Chav Gimel, Ki lo nachash b'Yaakov, velo kesem b'Yisrael. Comes the Gemara and says, what does that mean? Lo nachash b'Yaakov velo kesem b'Yisrael. The Gemara teaches us in Chulin Daf Zayin, based on this concept, that when Am Yisrael is doing the right thing, when a Jew is doing the right thing, so the natural powers of the world have no control over him. He controls the powers. Once the Baba Sali wasn't feeling well, and he went to a doctor, and he didn't want to go to the doctor, but whatever, they forced it, whatever it was, he ended up by a doctor. The doctor told him that the reason why he's not feeling well is because when he drinks tea, he puts a lot of sugar in it. And the sugar caused him a medical issue, and now he has a sugar issue, and that's what's causing him his medical problem. So before anything, he has to cut out all sugar from his diet. A lot of nutritionists tell that to people today as well. So the Baba Sali the laws of nature didn't apply to him, because he was a Kadosh Elyon. And he just said out to the doctor, it was an Arab doctor in Morocco. He said out to him, he says, "I don't got a sugar problem, you do." The doctor said, "We could take a blood test, I'll prove it to you." So he said, "Take a blood test." They took a blood test, nothing. He had no sugar problem. That's not a big deal, right? Maybe it was just his theory and he was wrong. The doctor said he's going to take a blood test now. He took a blood test on himself and he had a sugar problem. Now, I don't know if he had it the day before, by the way. That was a Pek Kadosh, a holy mouth of the Baba Sali's. When he said something, that's Lo Nachash B'Yaakov. Because the God says, when Klal Yisrael is doing the right thing, there's no powers over them. No power can mix in. Velo Kesem B'Yisrael. Even the magic trick, nothing doing. Comes the Rav and says like this. We see like this, that the more zechuyot we have, the more merits, spiritual merits we have, the less other power could affect us. The less merit we have, the more other power can affect us. Rule number 1. He continues and says, besides for these things that we started describing, you'll all forgive me, I know it's late, but don't be panicked. Today we don't have these things so strong. There are other concepts in this world that also come from the bad sides. Like Mikatregim, right? Rosh Hashanah, this is a concept, those who talk bad about us, angels who talk bad about us in heaven. There's something called klipot. I don't want to get involved in that and explain what that means, but there's some sort of impure spiritual powers in the world. Even that, when a person is doing the right thing and he has skuyot, they have no connection to him. But now I want to ask an interesting question to make an observation. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kulot tov, it's all good. Tumah is not something good. All this machshefim and that, there's nothing good from that. So how could it be that God created something that's not good? Or that at least to us seems to be not good? The Chorah makes no sense. The Pele. Right? On a very simple level, in a way that we can relate to in our personal lives, if you're having a bad day, so to you it's bad, right? So how could it be that God created a day for you that's bad?
To appreciate good.
So you're going to say, it's not really bad, I just feel it's bad, but you feel it's bad. And don't try telling somebody not really bad when, God forbid, they're sick with an illness or battling a struggle in their life. It's the worst thing to say to somebody. How could it be? So the answer is very simple. I think you have to take it in a simple way. If you try to complicate it, you're going to ruin it. Bad doesn't really exist. There is no such thing as bad. What does that mean? There's a lot of days that feel bad. There are a lot of situations that technically seem to be bad and that are bad, but it's not a creation. For example, right now I have a sefer in front of me. Every few seconds I look down, I see something, I quote. If you'll go to the light switch and shut off the light, will the sefer still be here? Yes. Will I be able to read what it says? No. Did anything change? Nothing changed. The sefer is still here. So what changed? That now the light was eliminated. Kedusha is a light. Hashem is a light. And sometimes the Kedusha is covered by different things that go on. Or sometimes God hides himself. And then that vacuum that looks dark is what feels bad or is the suffering and tragedy of the world at large. This is a very simple idea. It's a very rational idea. And if we take this, we suddenly can understand everything. That means all the koach hatumah in this world, be'etzim has no life on its own. Impurity has no power. It's brought down in the Sfarim HaKadoshim in many different contexts, the same quote over and over again. Hara memis et atzmo. Evil will destroy itself. It will be self-destructive. Somebody told me an amazing thing this past Sunday. He has a sister that is a very prestigious attorney on one of the highest levels that exists in the United States, maybe in the world at large as well. And she has a firm or practice. In her case, it's not really a regular firm because they do international law. And she has over 200 attorneys that work under her. That's a pretty big operation. And then you need paralegals too, and assistants and that. But besides that, there's a whole fleet, we'll call them, of interns that are dying to get in there. Because you're going into one of the best places and you may get hired out afterwards, and what could be better than that? And she recently told her brother, that was the one who told this to me, that she next year doesn't want to take any more interns anymore, she's done with them. So he said, why? It's free labor. They normally want to prove themselves, so they're the best labor, they work hard to show that they're worth something. And why would you want to stop? Well, it doesn't make any sense. So she told him an interesting thing. She said that it used to be, she had somebody interning, and he was, he had to do something, and he made a mistake. Happens. She would go there nicely, or somebody would go there nicely, and say, sir, we want to teach you how to do this right for next time. Rephrase it this way, present your case from a different angle, whatever it is. He says, today's generation is not capable of accepting criticism. And if you go to an intern and you tell him something, he made a mistake, he walks out on you. Or the next day he's in a bad mood, or he says you're a bad guy, or whatever it is. He says, and I have no patience to deal with that. Because if they're not willing to take guidance, why should I waste my time guiding them? Because today everybody wants to be told, you're amazing, you're perfect, no matter what, that's it. You're perfect, there's nobody better than you. And she concluded that she quoted this in a speech that she gave in a big university, in an Ivy League school, and she told the kids there, she said, this is what's going on with you, this is what's going on with society, and this is how society is going to self-destruct itself. We don't need a nuclear bomb to do it. we're going to do it to ourselves. Because a kid who can't take criticism, I'm not talking about negative criticism, oh yeah. I'm talking about constructive criticism that's given over the right way, in a loving way, in a nice way, then he's never going to learn. And if we never learn, the world has no continuation. It's a dead end. It stops. There's no future. Society has no future that way. And it's really true. Today, a lot of bosses are scared of their own employees. They can't tell them a word. You tell them one word wrong, later on you get a lawsuit. Yeah, but this or that. One guy told me he has 10,000 employees in this company in the United States. It's a pretty big operation going on. He says that the company has like these insurance policies that have crazy numbers of dollars of coverage in case ever any employee decided that, somebody talked to him the wrong way, or he slipped on the floor, or this, or that, or the bathroom wasn't clean enough, or God knows what's going to come up, and they sue the company. He says, we have 10,000 employees, so I have a high risk of a lot of lawsuits. So they have these insurance premiums that are insane, with this, just the covenant. This comes from an empty generation that somebody told them one word that they didn't like. So you didn't give me my rights, and now we're going to make a whole scene. AKA the protesters all over the United States right now. There used to be a lot less protests in society because people have what to do with themselves. Today everybody's bored. There's nothing to do anymore. There's no life anyway. So we go protest, scream a little bit, make yourself worth something. Activists, that's what they call themselves. Every guy who never succeeded in life and failed through everything is an activist. That's what it is. Doesn't have a job, doesn't have a career, doesn't have anything. No, be an activist. That's all it is. Lobbyists are not that far from it too, but at least lobbyists make money. Activists don't even do that. It's a problem. But that's called harab meimiset atzmo. Society is melting itself. Like this, there's no future. I'm going to tell you something that besides for the Jewish brain, that's definitely a big part of the blessing of why the state of Israel produces the most technology of the whole world and matching the world combined today. It's unreal. In the last big technology show in Spain, 22 out of 41,000 new patents were Israeli companies. That's more than 50% of all the new patents that they're showing in the show of the entire world. Whoever's presenting, now it's not literally the entire world because not everybody's presenting obviously and so on, but what's Israel? You can't even find it on a globe. If you have a globe at home, look for it. You're not going to find it. Some microscopic dot. In cybersecurity, they control the world. The world can't go on without Israel's cybersecurity today. So one of the reasons, of course, Hashem gave a blessing. This Avirad Yisrael, Machkim Chazal say, just the air in Israel makes people smart. In general, Jews had a certain, discipline to education, to other things which helped them, and a lot of other things too. But I want to tell you something else, that they also have another thing that works in their favor a lot of times. And these young kids, when they're 18 years old, those who have the merit go to yeshiva, but those who don't have the merit have a different merit, a great merit. They go to serve in the Israeli army. And here you take an 18-year-old kid who really wants to be home playing on his iPad, watching YouTube clips, and you put him into harm's way. And his life is at risk 30 days after he entered, because he's in danger zones. And la'aleinu v'la'alechem, every few weeks we hear a terrible story of one of these young kids who never made it home. Hashem shall watch over our soldiers and bring them all home happy, healthy, and safe. These are mothers that don't sleep at night for 3 years straight. We have no idea what that means. We don't relate to that. We have no clue what that means. And those 3 years, in the army, there's no saying no. They tell them over there, day one, what's not going to go in through here, we're going to make you go running, doing push-ups, doing this. And what's not going to do that, something called a tzinuk. That's like solitary confinement in a little military prison cell. And if that doesn't work, God knows what's left already. Then the person's a worst case. So what do they learn when they're 18? Discipline. That it's okay for somebody that knows better than you to teach you how to stay out of harm's way. And it's not the end of the world. The world won't end from that. So later on, when they go out to the business world, they're willing to accept guidance from people who are already there, from people who already proved success, from people who have formulas. They were willing to learn. So they start light years ahead of every young kid today that thinks he's going to be the new entrepreneur that's going to invent whatever. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they are way above their education and their financial abilities and everything in success. In inventions, both in technology, medicine in a lot of areas as well, and other things. It's mind-boggling. And the yeshiva students, we don't even have to mention. I didn't mean to lessen the yeshiva students. They had discipline from day one. There's no soldier that would change with a yeshiva student, because it's a lot harder to sit in yeshiva. Because the yeshiva student it starts when he's 4 years old, and it goes, hopefully until 120, but at least until he's 25 or 30. And it's not one or two, a few hours a day, and there's no weekends off, and it's every day, all day. It's a life commitment. So somebody who has so much discipline and comes out to the world at large has a lot more success. Comes like Baruch Hu and tells Am Yisrael like this: bad has no power on its own. Bad on its own just melts itself. It has zero ability to do a thing. But bad is able to suck from the good power. There's kedusha in the world, and then there's klipot, there's chitzonim, there's impurity. The impurity could be able to take from the pure to steal from them. And that's where it gets its life from. It's just like a terrorist who shoots somebody with a gun that he stole from a military base. The gun was made and sold to the military base to protect people from terror. But if it goes to the wrong hands, it can be used for very bad things. There are many medications that for certain types of chronic patients of certain diseases, they're very important for them. When they're on the street and being abused by teenagers, they cause overdoses and death. Meaning if you have a tool, even if it's the best tool in the world, if it's utilized the wrong way, then it can go as a boomerang against. Comes the Torah and says this: if you're inside the Kedusha, then all these things can't get close to you. You're protected from everything. You got nothing to worry about. The Rav Zera Shimshon continues proving this concept, and we're going to show how this applies so well for Chodesh Elul. You walk away with something, this is a gift. Very encouraging gift also. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Abraham Avinu, Hithalech lefanai v'heyeh tamim. Walk in front of me and be tamim. Don't look for different crazy ideas. The way he explains it is HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, Hitalech lefanai kama. If you're going in front of me, meaning you're doing the right thing, heyeh tamim. You have nothing to worry about. You're perfectly protected. Nothing could ever harm you. And if something harms you, then you got to look and say, what am I doing wrong that this thing was able to harm me? Why was I in a car accident? What did you do with your car? Where did you drive your car to? Where did your car take you to? Why was it? Don't say why. Say what. Instead of saying why did Hashem do it, say what does Hashem want from me? It's a very deep idea. Based on this, he continues and says an interesting idea, and this is what has to do with Elul Shana Kippur. I learned this earlier with my Chavruta today, this evening, and I got such a chizuk from it. I hope you get the same chizuk that I got from this. There is a Gemara. I'm not quoting the whole Gemara. I'm going to be skipping parts just so we fit our time cap. The Gemara is in Masechet Yuma. I'll give you the source if you want to learn the whole Gemara. It's great to learn this Gemara. Yuma Daf Pehei. Second side, Amud Bet. Part of this Gemara, a lot of us know just from Jewish songs, because this is used in a lot of Jewish songs. Ashrechem Yisrael. Rabbi Akiva said, Lucky are you, Am Yisrael. Lifnei mi atem metaharim. In front of who do you purify yourself? Here's what Rabbi Akiva says, right? And through that, with Zochel Or HaPanim, we get a big light from Shammai. What does the Gemara go over there? What does the Gemara really say over there? So the Gemara says like this. The Gemara starts before that. Darash Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said a Darash. Mikol chatotechem, I'm skipping part of the pasuk. Mikol chatotechem, Hashem forgives on Yom Kippur, right? We get cleansed from all our sins. Comes Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and says like this. Averot shebein adam lamakom, Yom HaKippurim mechaper. on a sin between man and God, Yom Kippur, you get forgiveness for that sin. But, Shneimah, we have a proof from it, a pasuk in Yechezkel, V'zarakti alachem mayim torim u'ta'atem, whatever that Hashem says, He's going to pour on us purity. Ve'omer, and another proof to it, a second proof, Mikveh Yisrael Hashem. They call it Yom Kippur is like a mikveh that makes everybody pure. No, sorry, that was Rabbi Akiva's thing in the Gemara. Sorry. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, "Avirot sheben adam ha'makom Yom Kippurim mechaper. Avirot sheben adam ha'chaveiro ein Yom Kippurim mechaper." That's what Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said. Sorry, I misquoted. Avirot sheben adam ha'chaveiro Yom Kippur doesn't work. Ad shiratzeh yifayes et chaveiro, until you work it out with your friend. Avirot sheben adam ha'makom, your issues with God, Yom Kippurim mechaper. Comes Rabbi Akiva right away on the continuation of the Gemara, and he adds on what I just said, that what's Yom Kippurim? It's like the mikveh that makes you pure. You bring, that idea. Lifnei mi atem mitaharim, and this is important, so remember this part. Lifnei mi atem mitaharim, in front of who do you purify yourself? Umi mitaher etchem, and who purifies you? And then he brings two psukim to prove the idea. The rabbi in the Sefer Zera Shimshon asks a few obvious questions. Number one, if you purified yourself, then what do you need God to purify you for already? It's done. Imagine you asked somebody you had something in the cleaners. You sent your shirt to the cleaners. You asked your brother, he's going anyway to the cleaners for his stuff. You told him, do me a favor, pick up my shirt. Okay, he says, gladly, no problem. Comes home, no shirt. So you figured he forgot you. Suddenly comes to you, he says, I didn't forget you. I picked it up. But then I said, it's only $1.25 to clean a shirt. I decided to give it again. So what'd you give it again for? They cleaned it, it was a good job. Yeah, it was perfectly clean. So what'd you give it again for? I don't know, why not? It was cheap, why not? We gave it again. Nobody would say that, right? That doesn't make sense. Somebody may say they didn't do a good job, it wasn't pressed right, it didn't come out clean. That makes sense. But for no reason, it's clean, that's it. Imagine you came out of a car wash, finished, you just paid $20. Drove right back in again. Went in circles a few times. Are you supporting the car wash? Your car's clean. Wait a few hours, it'll get dirty again. Come back. But now you don't need it. Lifnei mi atem mitaharim. In front of who do you become pure? So you're already tahor. Umi mitaher etchem. And who's making you pure? What do you mean? I'm already pure. I purified myself. Question number one. Question number two. Why did Rabbi Akiva have to bring two psukim to prove his idea? One's enough. He brings the pasuk, "V'zarakti alachem mayim torim," right? Hashem throws on us pure water, whatever, we become pure. And then he brings another pasuk, like a mikveh. What do we need both for? One is enough. We don't need both. Number three, he asks, what's the connection between the first memra from Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah that said, "Averot sheben adam l'chaveiro, averot sheben adam l'makom Yom Kippur is mechaper, averot sheben adam l'chaveiro Yom Kippur doesn't work for," to Rabbi Akiva that talks about a general situation of tshuva of a person. Doesn't seem to be a direct link. It's in the same theme, yeah, but it's not directly connected. Normally the Gemara has a connection. There's a reason why one is after another. So he says a brilliant answer. And this answer is really what I want to... This is my message tonight. I got such a chizuk from this, and everybody should get a big chizuk from this, so we have a good Elul Be'ezat Hashem. Come into Rosh Hashanah, l'chaim tovim u'shalom. There is a argument in the Gemara over there on Yuma Pehei Amud Bet between Rebbe and the Chachamim, Rabbanan, Chachamim. On the day of Kippur, is everything automatically wiped out?
No.
Or do you have to do teshuvah? It's a machloket in the Gemara. Rebbe says Yom Kippur is mechaper af l'she'einam shavim b'teshuvah. Even somebody who doesn't do teshuvah, just the fact that Yom Kippur went over him, that's it. He's in good shape. Why? Because itzumo shel yom, the power of the day, the kedusha of the day, that gives you a kapara. The Chachamim, the Rabbanan, they argue. They say, no, it doesn't work like that. There's no free pass. Yom Kippur is mechaper for somebody who tried. Somebody who didn't try, didn't do teshuvah, Yom Kippur is nothing. It's as if he didn't... you got to show up in simple English. comes the Rav Zera Shimshon and says such a beautiful chidush, such a deep chidush. He says, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, what did he say? He said, we quoted, Darash Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Mikol Chatotechem, and so on, Averot sheben adam lamakom, Yom Kippurim mechaper. He doesn't say if you do tshuva. He just says it as a blanket statement. Averot between you and God, Yom Kippur gives you a kapara. So it sounds like that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds like Rebbe. The Yom Kippur works even without tshuva. But that's hard to understand because the halacha is not like Rebbe. We go by the majority with the chachamim. And that's why we do slichot every morning and this and that, all these things. It's all part of tshuva. So comes Rabbi Akiva and says, no. Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah could work with the chachamim too. It's a package deal. He goes along with the opinion of the chachamim also. Why? How does it work with the chachamim? It doesn't seem like it works with the chachamim. So he says, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says that Yom Kippurim is mechaper. But he doesn't say if you have to do tshuva, you don't have to do tshuva. So we're making an assumption that's based on something that you don't have to do tshuva. What's it based on? That when it comes to ben adam l'chavero, he says that you have to go actively and work it out with your friend. And here he doesn't say that you have to go actively and do tshuva. So that seems like that he doesn't say you have to go do tshuva. He says no. He says there's different levels, there's different ways of getting close to Hashem. There is the way of averot sheben adam l'chavero and the way of averot sheben adam l'makom. If you broke somebody's window, it doesn't make a difference if you feel bad or not. He still has damage. Now you got to go fix the damage. But if you did an averah between you and God, you did damage in olamot ha'elyonim, but God doesn't need you, and He doesn't need you. You're not going to fix God, right? He didn't get hurt. His feelings weren't hurt. So what's the issue? That you damaged yourself. Your neshama got damaged from it. What does that mean? That something towards somebody else, you have to take a physical action to rectify, to correct. You got to fix the damage that happened to the other person. If somebody lent you a car, and whatever, you parked, you weren't paying attention, I don't know, you were paying attention, something happened, you got some scratches in the back. You're not going to just give it back to him without saying anything. You're going to be, it's, first of all, stealing. But second of all, it's not. So you're going to go, you're going to offer, you want me to pay for it, should I take it somewhere to fix it for you? What should I do? Why? Because there's something that is between man and man that has to be resolved. So we look to fix the issue, to resolve the actual situations. We don't have that. Because with God, it's not like that. So therefore what? Comes the Rav Zera Shimshon, it's such a huge chidush. If a person has a hirur tshuva, a thought of tshuva, he had a feeling inside, what did I do that for? Should have not done that sin. That already Hashem says, boom, I accept that. That's called fixing the damage. That's what it takes. Based on this, it's such a brilliant shot. It says Rabbi Akiva comes and says, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah also says they have to do tshuva on Yom Kippur. He also holds like the Chachamim. But he says there's two types of tshuva. There's one tshuva that's Yom Kippurim mechaper, that's just behiru, without an action. There's another tshuva that's for ben adam l'chavero, that you need an action to fix already. That's the differentiation. If that's the case, he says like this. Rabbi Akiva comes and says, Lifnei mi atem metaharim. Fi ha'averot by Hashem, really, as soon as you felt bad about it, Hashem wipes it out. But at the end of the day, when you did a sin, now the koach hatumah, the impurity in the world, has more power. If impurity in the world has more power, so there is a damage. So why don't you have to do something about that? So comes Rabbi Akiva and says, Umi metaher etchem. Comes Hashem and says, I give you a gift. You felt bad? I take care of the rest for you. I'll do the rest of the job for you. So, it's not that the shirt is clean already. The shirt is clean. But there's still a price to pay. You still got to pay the cleaners for the fee. The fee God takes care of. He says, you had something in your heart that made you feel closer to Hashem. I'll take care of the rest already. On mitzvot ben adam lamakom. If that's the case, that's why we needed 2 pesukim. Why did we need 2 pesukim? One pasuk is to explain us the general concept that HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps people become pure. But then there's another pasuk. The other pasuk is a very interesting pasuk. It's talking about a mikveh. When a person goes into the mikveh, he's pure? No. If he was pure, he wouldn't be going in the first place. When he comes out of the mikveh, then he becomes pure. And what did he already do? He went into some water, huh? What's the answer? That Hashem says that I'm the one who decided what it means to be impure. I'm the one who decides what's pure. But it goes more than that. When a person went into the mikveh, so he went in together with his averot. He didn't go in without the averot. That's the whole reason why he went in the first place. Comes Hashem and says, but you went in. You went in, as soon as you come out, I already gift you that you're pure. There is, by the way, this is just for intellectual discussion, an interesting diyun in halacha. If somebody, we should never know what this means, somebody went into a mikveh and Baminan he died inside before he came out. Is he pure or not? Did he become pure before he died or not? No, mikveh works when you come out of the mikveh. It doesn't work when you're in the water still. By the way, there's the unit in that. There's a lot of discussion in that how it works exactly, but the simple understanding is that this is a big chizuk. What's the big chizuk here? When you come, especially us by the Sephardic Jewry, when we have almost 40 days minus Shabbat and a few other days, Chodesh and whatever, of Slichot. Not everybody always makes it 40 days. Some of us don't make it 40 days. It's hard. It's not an easy thing. Then we have these long prayers of Shana Kippur. We make it, of course. We go to shul. Everybody goes to shul. But being physically there, that's very nice. But that's where it ends. It's when the prayer is 5, 6, 7 hours straight, Yom Kippur, the whole day. You have to be a big tzaddik. You have to be at a very high level to really be able to be focused and concentrating the whole day when you're fasting. It's almost impossible. Of course, the tzaddikim did it, but for a regular person. So a lot of guys, they give up before it starts. They're like, I can't do this. It's not for me. I give up. And we have to remember this yisod. Because Baruch Hu says in Chodesh Elul, just come, just show up. Just make an appearance. Just be part of it. And if you're part of it, or if you made an appearance, or you did anything in the right direction, I'll take care of the rest. So Chodesh Elul is not about taking 40 days and saying every day is going to be perfect. Because then the first time one day is not perfect, it's all gone. Chodesh Elul is about saying, I'm going to find a few minutes throughout every day, every week, the whole month, whatever it is, each person, wherever he's holding in life, that I'll feel a little closer to Hashem. That I'll have a little hirut shuvah. I could be better than this. I don't have to stay stuck in the same place. I don't have to use the world's favorite excuse, I'm not on that level yet. It's the most absurd, hypocritical excuse that exists. There's nothing more hypocritical than that. Imagine you worked in a firm, a law firm, and you were another one of the lawyers there. And one day, the main partner comes to you, he tells you, you're doing so well, I want to make you a partner in the law firm. I'm not on the level yet.
Get on the level quickly.
Imagine that lady last night who won $758 million, went to the lottery place and ripped up the ticket in half and said, I'm not on that level yet. Everybody would have said, Majnoon. What's wrong with him? That's the stupidest. Even if you think that, don't say it, because it makes you sound stupid. It makes you sound like a real ignorant. Just don't say it. It's a silly thing to say. You could say I have a big yitzhara. Yeah, we all do. I have big tests. It's hard for me. Every time I try, I quit. All that's normal. Shiva pavim mipol tzadik v'kan. HaKadosh Baruch Hu still calls you a tzaddik. But not on the level. That's already. Kirvat Elokim is saying, I want to get to some sort of level in life. I want to feel some sort of connection. Something, even a drop. I want to be able to control my anger one time. I want to be able to control my mouth. 1 minute a day, not to say Lashon Hara. In today's generation, it's very hard. I want to... Something! I want to have something. I want to make some sort of move, some sort of sacrifice. Because Baruch Hu says, you're willing to do that. That was Pitchuli Petach Yechudah Shel Machat. You open the door. You open the door, I'll already take care of it. Don't worry. From there on, God says it's on me. It's an unbelievable thing. Unbelievable thing. And really, it makes sense. Some people would ask, well, God just like that, free pass. It also sounds like somewhat of a free pass. So those of you who are parents will have an easier time understanding this. Let's say you just had a meal. And sometimes when there's a meal, the floor gets a little bit dirty. Crumbs fell, something fell on the floor. So your plan is that when you're going to clean up the table, after everything, you're going to sweep the rest of the floor. You have a 5-year-old kid at home, and he decides he wants to help you. And while you're cleaning the table, he takes the broom and starts sweeping. Now, obviously, he doesn't know how to sweep, and he's not going to get it right anyway, or whatever. You're not going to stop him because it's a nice thing he is. He's doing a really nice gesture. And you're going to compliment him, and you're going to praise him, and not only that, you'll be so proud that your kid, look, on his own, he wanted to help me, even though he doesn't know how to do it, and even though he didn't help me at the end, and I had to do it myself and everything else. B'ni bechori Yisrael asher ahavta, Kodesh Baruch Hu comes and says, you're my child. And throughout the year, you made a mess, yeah. But it came Chodesh Elul, and you picked up the broom, even if you don't know how to do tshuva the right way, and even if you didn't do it 100%, and even if it didn't play out completely, but at least you picked up the broom. I'm proud of you, it's okay. I'm going to take a lot of pride in you. And when I do the job, I'll end up saying that you did the job. When that mother went and swept the floor afterwards, when she told her husband, she said, look what our son did, he cleaned the floor. What to clean the floor? She went and did it. He didn't do the good job. That's what Hashem does. He says, look at my son, the tzaddik. Why? Because he picked up the broom. It's an unbelievable idea. Unbelievable Yisod Chodesh Elul. It's a big chizuk. And a drop of Kivat Elokim everybody has in him to get to. That much we have. So Hashem should help that it should be an El Chaim Tovim Shalom, and Avodah Shana and Kippurim Chaim Tovim Shalom. And Halavai, we should be zochet to be in the Beit Mikdash and see Yom Kippur in the Beit Mikdash. B'meira b'yameinu amen v'amen.
Harid upstairs, Harid upstairs. Harid upstairs.